Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage and welcome to episode 19 of Civilization 5. I'm playing as Portugal and on Emperor difficulty. Not doing a particularly good job of things because I went aggressive very early on and ended up with pretty much all of the AI hating me. Currently in a war with most of the AI, certainly in with Egypt, Polynesia and Arabia, who are the three biggest players in the game so far. Egypt's giving me the most jip because we have this little city right here, which is right next to my borders. I'm trying to thin out their units as best I can. They do keep attacking me and sending in more and more units. I don't know where they're getting all their reinforcements from. It's very, very difficult for me to actually get close to this city though, given the number of hills and jungles and the river that's next to it as well. It makes it a little bit tricky to get in close without risk of bombardment from the city itself. So I'm doing my best just to try and keep them at bay, thin their units out, and that gives me time to try and build up a little bit of an army and also sort out things like my economy and happiness, which are problems that have been plaguing me for quite a few turns. So just going through the process here of working out if I can get units into better positions. Try and flank the city around the back. I'm not really going to be able to do an awful lot from around the back, but the more targets I can throw at Elephantine in a single turn, the more difficult it's going to make it for Elephantine to be able to take out my cannons when I move them close enough to hit the city. So the more units I have in range of them, the better. It also doesn't help now that we're at a point in the game where we're actually using Gatling guns. And the problem with Gatling guns is they're actually quite terrible for range because they only have a single hex of range. Obviously, we've got a lot of the city-states that are currently at war with us as well. The only profitable cargo routes I can run is one to Chichen Itza that keeps getting pillaged, and internal routes. So I'm just going to stick with the internal routes for now. We've got a pagoda. That's actually helped the happiness quite nicely. I'm happy about that. Porto's finished the armory. That's also helped with the money situations. Let's go ahead and get a stock exchange as well. If we can sort our gold out, we'll be in a much, much better position to actually deal with this war. So let us keep using units where we can. Right, this shouldn't be a kill, and I hope it isn't, and it actually is. It said it wouldn't be, because I didn't want those guys to move forward, because now there's potential danger that they will actually end up getting bombarded by the city, which is something I'm not too keen on. I'm going to move the Great General over there, so at least he has a unit covering him, so he doesn't just get wiped out by these pikemen over here. I guess I could actually start moving a few units in. It is very dangerous because the city can still potentially bombard, but I do need to try and move my units in a little bit now. It's getting a little bit dangerous. I need to try and do something about this this city. I am likely to take a lot of bombard damage, but I need to try and get some of my units close enough to be able to do something about it. So I'm going to try and keep all of their units at bay. May well end up needing another cannon, but that's something we'll have to deal with when we come to it. Got the bananas there, that's quite nice. What else is worth connecting up? Not an awful lot. There's not a great deal that I can really get my workers doing, because I don't really want them ripping up the jungles, because the jungles are giving me relatively good science. So is there anything else that we really need to get connected that would give us a great deal of benefit? We could also do with getting a few archaeologists as well, just get some of these antiquities sites up. That would be quite nice. I'm almost tempted to get another city just for the production, but there aren't really all that many great spots. Do I come down here and get you to build some more farms? That's probably not a terrible idea. Let's go on to the next turn then. See how much damage Elephantine does to us now that we've moved a lot of units in. Bear in mind the city can actually only fire on one of our units at a time, so we may lose a unit here, and in fact we probably will do. But they do have a lot of units now that we have a potential to hit. Still can't get close enough to do any decent damage to Elephantine itself. Arabia is now willing to peace out, and he's willing to go for a white peace. I am going to accept that. We've not really been at war with him, as it were. But at least by doing that, we're now not going to have to worry about him pillaging our trade routes, which means it might be time to rebuild another trade route and send it across the north there. So that is a good thing. Now, I believe he went to war with us on the same turn that Polynesia did, so it may be possible to peace out with Polynesia. He is happy for a white piece as well, so let's go ahead and do that. Brilliant. So that's less wars to be in itself. So, can we peace out with any of these people? It's always worth checking, just so that you're not peace blocked with any of these. Yeah, those two are allied with Egypt, so that's fine. So, okay, so things are a lot better than they used to be. Manila's allied with Arabia. Only 29 influence. Don't have the money to bribe anybody, though, so I'm not too worried about that right now. So, Lisbon, you have finished the stock exchange. You're going to go right ahead and start work on the East India Company, because we certainly need that. This musketman gets a promotion. You're going to get cover, actually, which will give you a bit of defense against the ranged attacks. We are going to take the shot with you, and hopefully finish those guys off. No, of course not. Do we risk taking the shot with this guy, or do we just move out? I think we're actually just going to take the shot. We'll probably lose it, but at least it'll be one unit less for us to have to deal with. You're the unit that needs promoting. You're not in a great spot to do that right now. Throwing units at Gatling guns isn't a great idea, because they do take a lot of damage, but I do want to try and completely isolate this city and get rid of all of the units that are trying to defend it. So I am literally going to throw a lot of units at it right now and do as much damage as I can. And we will... Attacking with you probably isn't a good idea. Attacking with you is not a bad idea. We're going to move this Gatling gun up onto the hill. Don't have the room for this guy to get through. I am going to move this guy up. I'm going to move the Gatling gun up. I'm going to move the general up. I'm going to start moving in with this cannon. Can't really move any more on this turn. I would like to move that cannon in, but he's not in a great position to do that either. Am I going to attack with you? I think I will have a shot. It does weaken me a little bit, which means Elephantine could take a shot. But Elephantine's got a lot of targets. If it wants to shoot at something, it's really going to have to pick what it wants to shoot at. They are bringing in cannons. Yeah, they're going for the cavalry, which is pretty much one of my weaker units. So I'm not terribly upset about that. They have brought in a cannon, but I do need to get aggressive here if I'm to have any chance of being able to take this city. And this city does need to be taken out. Arabia has denounced Egypt. That is good. Okay, so we've discovered oil. That is very good. So let us go back into... I guess we could go for military science. That would be good because it would give us the military academy. But we're only a few turns away from flight, and we do have oil. So that will be very, very useful. So let's go ahead and start taking out some of these units. And then we can hopefully start to move in with some of our other units. Okay, we can move this cannon here, which now means it potentially is in range of Elephantine. Gatling gun can't really go anywhere. We can't afford to upgrade this unit. Can't really move you out of the way either. You're going to just fortify up. I think we'll swap around with these guys. Can't swap around with you guys yet. We could swap around with the cannon there. So now we have two cannons that are within range. I would like to try and do some damage to their cannons if possible. Didn't finish them off, but certainly hurt them quite a lot there. We'll just keep you asleep for now. You should be safe on that spot. You've gone ahead and built a farm there. That is nice. Braga is connected already. There we go. Okay, so let's have a look at the oil that we've got. Let's see what we've got. We have one down here, which we could certainly connect up. That is within range. And we have a second one down there. And the third one's up here. We don't have refrigeration, so we can't go and grab that one just yet. So let's send you down here to get this oil. And we'll send one of these other workers down to grab that oil. What have we got? We've got 3 there and we've got 3 there. So 6 oil. That's not terribly bad. You guys can just cover up. I would really like another cannon. I'm not sure if we are going to be able to get one, but we will see what happens. They do still have a few units around. I'm definitely going to take some damage, that's for certain. We'll probably take some hits now from the cannons and the crossbowmen. Not good to be sacrificing this many units, but my theory is while they're shooting at the riflemen, they're not shooting at the cannons. And that is the important part for me here. Do need, of course, to get trade routes up and running, because that will help with the gold situation. Not too worried about this archaeologist. We can, of course, take a shot at Elephantine with the city itself. We've got a great musician. So let's use this Gatling gun to take a shot at the city. We're basically going to do no damage at all. We can go ahead and move next to that cannon. We won't be able to do an awful lot of damage to it. You can move over the river. You can move in closer. You can still take a shot on this turn also. These cannons will have time to set up and take a shot. They're not going to do an awful lot of damage, but we are now doing damage to Elephantine, which was the purpose of moving in here in the first place. Guess you guys could attempt to sink those archaeologists. There isn't an awful lot of point in you doing it though, so I might just keep you there as is. Coimbra has finished the bank. We could actually try and build Machu Picchu here, although it would be a little bit worthless because we don't actually have a city connection here. And we would have to build a road because it isn't even coastal. So Machu Picchu here would be a little bit pointless to say the least. I guess we could go ahead and build an arsenal. We don't need to really make it that much stronger. A factory would be nice, because we'd have much better production here. Let's go ahead and get the factory there. Cultural heritage sites. I'd like to still repeal that embargo on the city-state. I don't have all that many votes, but I'll go ahead and try it anyway. You can just try and heal up. You guys aren't really close enough to do anything, and it would take you quite a long time to get around there, but not impossible actually, so we will start you moving. Great musician. Okay, let's go ahead and get a great work. Let's try and keep the tourism pressure on. Maybe able to get to a point where someone was actually doing quite well there. Yeah, we're still in the middle of this revolutionary wave because pretty much everybody else has gone order. Certainly the people that do have the higher tourism, which is annoying because I'm getting minus 27 happiness or 27 unhappiness from being the only person with autocracy, and I'm never going to catch up with Egypt in terms of tourism. Polynesia and Arabia, the three biggest players, all have the same ideology, and again, that's another mistake that I made in this game. I should have just gone with the ideology that the tourism leader had, and I wouldn't have had to worry too much about that side of things. But never mind, if I can take a big bite out of Egypt, I may be able to steal some of their great works, which will help me out considerably. Got to be careful here. I don't really want to lose all of my melee units because I will need a melee unit in order to take the city once its health is down low enough. But I might just move this conquistador around the outside so I can do that. Obviously, cavalry units do have a penalty when attacking cities, but providing the city's on 0 health, it will still be possible to take it. Don't necessarily know if I'm going to keep it. I haven't really got the happiness to be able to keep it. May raise it to the ground. It's something I will have to consider when that happens. I'm going to give you... We'll heal every turn even when performs an action. That is actually very useful. But I'm going to give it Barrage 3 because then I can give it Logistics if it gets another promotion. Could... Repeal embargo states was passed. So, that's why I couldn't trade with city-states, because they were embargoed. So now is a very good time to actually start getting some... Right, we have copper. It would be nice if we could repeal that ban. Now is definitely a good time to start getting some trade routes going because we've managed to repeal the ban on those. So let us go ahead and get ourselves a few more cargo ships now. And we're not at war with people, so this would be a really good time to start to rebuild our economy here. Lots of nice damage to Elephantine. And these two guys can actually pillage. There is a cultural heritage site here. It may actually be worth keeping Elephantine, even at the cost of losing some more happiness. And we can potentially recover that. You guys are going to work your way around. Stay out of range of the city itself. You guys have gone ahead and done the coal. 1, 2, 3. I think that's actually going to be a farm right there. On to the next turn. If I do manage to get this city from Egypt, the moment I get it, I'm going to peace out, because I don't want to be at war with Egypt. I want to actually have chance to build up my defences, to build up my technology, and then that'll give me the opportunity to be able to go and deal with the Mayans again. So we do have some riflemen coming up. I'm going to use this Gatling gun to take some shots at them. I may as well, because the Gatling gun isn't actually close enough to reach the city. Took a lot of damage on this rifleman, but he's not out of the game yet. 4 turns until we get flight, and we know we have oil. So by the time we can actually build one, we may have the oil before we can build a plane. What do I want to give you? Cover would actually be really nice. But there again, heading towards logistics is even better, because that means that units can fire twice on the same turn. And on artillery, that is an absolutely indispensable ability to have. Not sure we're going to get its health down low enough to be able to take it on this turn. In fact, I would have thought that that is very unlikely to happen, but going to give it my best. No, that would be a costly attack. We still wouldn't be able to take it even if we did that. We could get these guys to pillage this farm and then heal up. They may be able to survive. We are going to fire at these guys. They are quite strong, so we're going to take a fair bit of damage from them. Production at Lisbon. We finished the East India Company here. Getting the museum would be nice for a little bit of extra culture, but there again, getting the food could be good also. So let's go ahead and get the food there. Braga has finished a cargo ship. Let's go ahead and get more cargo ships. We're going to need archaeologists. There's a lot of stuff we're going to need. We've actually got enough money to upgrade that musketman, so we will go ahead and do that. You're going to build an oil well there. 15 turns. It's actually a little bit longer than I was expecting. We are actually getting some oil from city-states, though, so we will be able to build planes straight the way, so it's not all bad. Guess we could go ahead here and get a lumber mill, possibly. You guys are just going to stay where you are, in case we need to use you to try and capture Elephantine. This cargo ship, okay, let's have a look. Highest gold. We should be safe, actually, will we be safe enough to go to Chichen Itza? Because we will be going... No, you're Arabia, and you were the one that pillaged it last time. We should be good then, so... We will trade with Chichen Itza. That'll be a fairly decent amount of money. Maybe I'm not going to go for domination. I really don't see what other type of victory I could get, but my main thing is to try and weaken Egypt, even though Egypt aren't actually the strongest civilization now. So maybe this is a little bit pointless, but I've already started this war, so I'm certainly going to do my best to at least take this city from them, if nothing else. It'll put me into negative happiness again for a while, but at least I will have another city, and it will help me with a few other things as well. I still think we can actually go quite wide. It is going to be difficult because we don't have the ideology that everybody else does, but we'll see what happens. So, let us go ahead and use our cannons. My intention is to take the city right down to 0 hit points. Looks like it is down to 0 hit points. I will just attack with this Gatling gun just to be 100% certain. And we will use you guys to go in. It may die, but I should still take the city anyway. There we go. We have Elephantine. I am going to keep it. Tomb Raider. Actually got an achievement there. Okay, so that's that done. We actually get quite a bit of money, of course, because they must have had a burial tomb in there. We're going to use you guys to do as much damage to these Egyptian units as possible. And then we're going to see if we can peace out with Egypt now we've got their city. So, back at -3 on happiness, but we can deal with that. So, will you actually peace out now? Yes, you will. And I'm guessing you won't be willing to give me anything. So I'll take a white piece. Okay, good stuff. The weird thing is now it says he's still friendly, although I'm sure he'll denounce me on the next turn. So you guys are going to go ahead and get a lumber mill up and running there. We can actually start to move down. We're only going to need a worker here to repair a lot of this stuff. What I might actually do... Actually, I'm going to wait until Gao's finished the zoo. At some point, I might need to actually annex Gao just so that I can manually build certain buildings here. Get some happiness going. But I think we're okay for now. Everyone else can pretty much just stand around and heal up for a turn or two. So, I believe, unless I'm mistaken, we are currently not at war with anybody. It seems like a long time since that's been the case. Let's have a quick look at the demographics. So I'm still number 2 in crop yield and manufactured goods. I'm number 1 in land. Number 5 in literacy. I'm dropping a little bit behind in tech. Happiness is certainly the worst. And I have lost a few units, but it's not over yet. We're still doing fairly well. I think we've got time for one more turn. Certainly need to get a little bit more happiness. Now is probably being denounced by Egypt, exactly as expected. Probably now is a good time to try and build that workboat and get it down here so we can get these crabs connected up, because they are 1, 2, 3. Well, they're not. We won't be able to work them, but we will be able to improve them, which means we will be able to actually grab them and use them for happiness. So we will go ahead and do that, making a fairly decent amount of money now. No longer an ally of Florence, which is a little bit of a pain. And they were giving us culture. I'm tempted to actually just go and give them a gift. I know we don't really have an awful lot of money, but we do need to try and keep as many of them on board as possible. Another cargo ship from you. You have built that. You're going to go down there and work on that oil next. We are going to have to start moving the armies down towards the south, I suspect. We will have to deal with the rest of Egypt at some point. A lot of unit micromanagement here. Rifleman, you're just going to stay in there and heal up. Anybody else, you can just sort of move forwards. I'll do it with everybody manually because it just makes it slightly easier than having the AI try and shuffle all of these units around and getting in each other's way. Cargo ship, you can go to Medina for the time being. That'll be another 29 gold per turn, which is very nice. And try and build up a massive amount of money before we actually get involved in any other conflict. And that might help us out a little bit. But that's all I've got time for in this turn, so I'm going to call that the end of the video. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you are still enjoying Civilization 5 on Emperor difficulty. And I'll see you next time. Until then, goodbye for now.